Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. A few hours ago, people are quite shocked about what they see on honkaistarrail news. Yeah, you guessed it right. It's all about the upcoming updates, which is version 2.3. Recently, Dimbreath spread a new information about the newest kits of Firefly and Jade across the community. Various reactions can be seen when everyone knew the changes they made to our upcoming units. Some people might say this is definitely a nerf, but for some people it is obviously a bug. Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough stellar jades? Here is a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and honkaistarrail. Look no further than Lootbar. Lootbar is the most reliable top-up platform, saving 20% for all orders compared with the official channel, and an extra 5% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy a pack for 3000 stellar jades for $42, which otherwise would have cost $50. Totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in less than 3 minutes. Our recharge will be done through the official channel with miHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. Okay, before we jump into this video, I wanna tell you that in this video I only pointing the changes they made based on the newest info. If you wanna see the full information about their kits, please visit my channel to find out more information. Okay, first thing first, let's talk about the stats they changed on Firefly. They made some changes on attack and speed stat. As you can see, her attack is decreased a lot by almost 30% from previous information. Her attack stat is much lower than before. So we might see the damage of Firefly will be lower outside of break damage. But since we haven't tested it yet, I can't say much. On the other hand, Firefly get a buff from speed section. This means Firefly will get more turn, especially when she enters her ultimate mode. I think this is good since her kit depending a lot on her ultimate. Okay, now we move on into her burst basic skill. They changed a bit on her skill, so her skill now less consumes her HP. The previous information, she needs to consume at least half of her HP, but now she only needs to consume over 40% of her HP. It means that she can at least using 2 skills without draining all of her HP to get her ultimate up. Besides, they also increases the energy we get from 50% to 60%, which is pretty nice. Plus, we getting the new effect that Firefly will get advanced forward by 25% after using this skill. The only downside from the current changes is her output damage from this skill is nerfed by 20% from the previous kit. Like I've told you before, of course, on the paper it seems to be lowered. But we need to try ourselves when she is released next month. Okay, next we will talk about her ult, which called Firefly Type 4 Complete Combustion. Her ult is also got changed in this new information, although not much different. The first thing is the increased damage dealt to weakness broken enemies is changed from 14% to 25%. So Firefly will deal at least 10% more damage to weakness broken enemies. And the second changes is the countdown is slower now. The previous info, the countdown has speed of 90, but now they lowered into 70. I think this is quite good and definitely a buff for Firefly. It means she can get more turn and can attack more frequently than before. Okay, next we will talk about her enhanced basic attack. As you can see on the screen, her enhanced basic attack is pretty much lowered than the previous info. It's around like 20% less output. Anyway, the rest is still the same, so let's move on into next changes. The next changes is her enhanced skill. This is the one of most changes in her kit. Basically, the overall kit is stayed the same, but the calculation is a bit different. As you can see, her recent kits only took half from its previous kits, although her maximum output of break evac is getting buffed to 360% of her break evac. I'm speculating that the recent changes made her becoming unit that needs more break evac rather than attack stat, since her break evac stat is more important now rather than her attack. Next thing is her talent. There is not much different about her new talent. They buffed evac resistance up to 40% to make sure she doesn't get CC'd by the enemies, I think. Okay, now let's move on into her traces. They also made a lot of changes into her kit. Her second traces, which called Module Beta Auto-Reactive Armor, is completely changed into completely different evac. Now under complete combustion, when Sam's break evac is equal to or greater than 200 or 360%, attacking a weakness broken enemy target will convert the toughness reduction of this attack into one instance of 25% or 50% super break damage. Honestly, this is completely turned a Firefly into something new. Now she can deal super break damage even without any help from Harmony main character. And second, Wanmei will be more helpful to Firefly, since Wanmei can increase toughness reduction and of course, making it bigger super break damage. And the second changes from her traces is now she no longer has ignores defense evac, and it changed into a new evac. This new evac definitely will make Firefly's break evac go even higher. But as per this video is posted, there is no confirmation about the maximum of break evac we can get from these traces. So let's wait for more info. There are two eidolons got changed in the recent information. First is her eidolons 4. Sam or Firefly now is no longer immune to crowd control debuff, and they turn it into effect resistance increase. For me personally, it is likely a nice buff for her. Immune to crowd control is good, but it can't be used on every situation. The recent changes made her is more useful in most of situations. Her eidolon 6 also got changed a bit. They increases the Sam's fire resistant penetration by 8% to 12%. The rest is completely the same as before. Okay, next we will talk about her dedicated Lightcone. The recent change made it from 25% increased damage into 40% increased break damage. They also increased the stack reduction by 5% to 20%. Many people say that this LC is not so much worth it before. Now I think it's more decent. Okay, now let's move on into the next character. Jade also got some change with her kit, making her kit is more viable. The only changes she got is from her skill. Unlike Firefly, I think Jade's kit is already great, but the recent changes is very welcome. Now her additional attack will deal more damage since they changed from 10% to 15%. And the next changes is her skill now consumes less HP than the previous information. Now she only takes 2% of the Debt Collector HP per attack. I think this is really great buff because I think 5% is too much in the first place. Okay, next we will talk about her dedicated Lightcones. To be honest, nothing much different with her Lightcones. They just tweak a bit about the percentage. They lowered the follow-up attack damage but increasing the ignore defense evac. I think it's got so much better now. They also made some changes with the upcoming Relics. The effect of 4 pieces of Iron Cavalry against Scourge is completely changed into when the wearer's break evac is greater than or equal to 150% or higher, ignores 10% of enemy's target's defense when dealing break damage to them. When the wearer's break evac is 250% or higher, the super break damage they deal to the enemy targets additionally ignores 15% of target's defense. This is clearly a great relic not just for Firefly, but also for anyone who uses a super break damage mechanism. These relics will completely change the game. Next is the Wind Soaring Valorous. This relic also got so much better. They put additional critical increase by 6%, and after wearers using a follow-up attack, increases the damage dealt by ultimate by 30%. And lastly is Duran, Dynasty of Running Wolves. They also decide to buff these ornaments. As you can see, they lowered the maximum stacks into 5. Which means we can get the maximum evac faster, and they increase the critical damage percentage into 25%. It is definitely nice to have. Okay, Okay guys, that's everything about the recent changes to upcoming version. And what do you think? Please leave your comment in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check out my another guide video. Thank you for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.